I've included links in the description to videos that inspired me to get this concept working. Markuspix, who did the original cheap camera rail, RdavidR, who does those DIY drum hacks. I've got a working prototype now. Hello and welcome to the IYD DIY automated camera dolly and curve track how-to video. A high-tech, low-cost solution to a potentially high-tech, high-cost problem. It's for streaming gigs, vloggers, solo musicians or bands. Suit a home rig or a small studio rig or rehearsal space, or easily a bigger space. It doesn't have to be a curved track, it can be a straight track. But what I've managed to make here is a curved track with an automated dolly with passive automatic panning. So what that's going to do is have a quiet motor. I chose an AC synchronous motor that drives a single wheel on the dolly. You see a lot of straight slider camera tracks. They're quite small, reasonably inexpensive, kind of affordable. They're quite short. The drawback for those is they either are motorized or you push them yourself. And if they are motorized, they only go from left to right, from one end to the other. And what I needed was a way that I could just hit record on my stream gig and hit record on the camera on the automated rig, so it just does its own thing. It just bounces from left to right. And it's slow moving as well. It's not supposed to be too fast. It's like those film shots that move very slowly. It's based on the premise that shot footage will look better if it's moving, and especially if it's slow moving, like a pull in or like a panning shot. Very smooth, very natural. It's not intrusive to what's going on in the shot. So what I wanted to do is just set and forget this thing, and instead of like multiple cameras, you can have just one camera, and that can like just move around very smoothly and very slowly, and it should go from one end to the other and just keep doing that as long as you're streaming. This works really well if you're in a band, if you are a solo streamer, like a Twitch streamer, or whatever type of streams you do, you can just set this up and let it run. Okay, so this is the film rig that you normally see on the track with all the pro gear, the 3 people operators, but all we're going to need is some simple tools like this. Everybody should have these sorts of things. You need a pair of inline skates, a microwave, but you don't need that whole thing. You don't need to zap yourself with microwave radiation. You just need the spigot in here, which is quite like a D keyhole thing, which really engages with the motor very well. So here we have like an AC synchronous motor. This one's like 240 volts, it's about 5 or 6 RPM, and there's the D drive pin, D-shaped drive pin, which locates very well with the drive wheel of the dolly. That's critical because I've had so many wheels fall apart on me. So you need a board, you need like a mic stand, all the bearings from those wheels, you need 8 wheels. You need all of the bearings, and you need to buy another couple of like big 10mm outside diameter bearings, no 30mm, sorry, to get the central post of the mic stand rotating smoothly, and that's picked up by the bottom passive hand tracking arm on the third rail of the track. So it's a pretty simple thing. I've come up against a lot of problems that I've managed to solve here. The four main difficulties were having a quiet, slow moving but strong drive motor that is reversible, critical. Adjust the pan automatically to suit because we're on a curved track. Accurate and smooth tracking of the dolly on a curved track. It's going to cost for a pro gear, like I don't know, like a couple of grand, 2,000 or something or more. If you want it automated, you're going to start looking at stepper motors, Arduino controllers, assuming you have like a basic 2-axis camera head. You can do this whole thing for about €50, and depending on what you already have. You know, you could buy a curved track from a camera specialist, then you would need a modified dolly. To go on top of that, then you need like stepper motors and stepper motor drivers, specialist robotic companies that are like make you one. They're probably pretty affordable if you've got like 2 or 3 grand in your pocket. So I just wanted to make something that we could all make using recyclable material, and that won't cost the earth. It's like cost next to nothing to make, although there were some like technical difficulties that I had to get over and like innovate around. So I'm going to share with you today what I did and how I got around it. And at the beginning of the video you saw what the footage looks like with a DSLR on top of that. But normally when I do streaming, I go from my mobile device to my RolandGo mixer, takes in the stereo sound from my 16-channel mixer, my audio rig. The phone like takes it via the USB, the audio and the video. Kind of does an okay job of like compressing it to H.264 or H.265 MP4. It's quite streamable. This is all done on Wi-Fi, so you know, it's depending on the strength of your Wi-Fi, it's not too bad. I mean, it's very doable. Okay, upgrades. You could get a machine shop to make you a few little bits and pieces, especially the drive wheel. Height, track could easily be 22mm with bigger connecting bars to make it a little bit more sturdy. Also, so it's easier those track bars to clear the wheels, because I had the problem that they had to be built like very low to ground, so the wheels cleared it, didn't bump the mast. What you don't see in the video is the inertial mass damper, which is basically a bungee cord strapped to the crossbar, which is attached to the dolly. Because the mast bounces and there's a little bit of bounce, especially at the stops, you need some kind of way to damp that action out of it. So I just found that like the right tension on that crossbar keeps the pan pickup arm against the rail. It also smooths out any camera wobble that's because it's sitting high up on the stand. The idea has turned out pretty well. It's really reliable. You have to run it up and down the track a couple of times to make sure it tracks smoothly, and you need to set the tension correctly. Those 2 limit screws for the drive wheel are actually pretty essential, because otherwise it gets to a point where in the curve where it wants to climb up over the rail, and it sends the whole dolly off the track, which isn't ideal. So you need those limit screws are pretty essential. They just keep the whole thing moving. The whole thing took me about 6 months to build, getting all of the components working. The biggest problem I had to solve was actually getting the thing to reverse. That was the biggest challenge. All of the people that I spoke to, all the electronic specialists, said that it couldn't be done, and indeed you can't easily reverse an AC synchronous motor using electronics. So in the end I came up with the idea that you could just force stop it and essentially throwing a stick through the spokes, which reverses the magnetic field and it reverses. So that's the major problem solved. The idea was just to use one drive motor, keep it very, very simple, and hence that's how I thought of the third rail pickup system, the pan. The camera's running around the curved track. The camera needs to track the object in all positions, so ideally you need to set it up so that the extreme right and the extreme left are in the position that you want. Just check it in the middle and just let it run. I used electrical cable clips just screwed into the third rail that hook over the track spacer bars. You can use metal pipe, I suppose. That PEX pipe is a little bit slippery, so you might consider using some kind of a grip tape, like you find on the edge of stairs, or like skateboard deck tape or something like that. So yeah, thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you can make any use of that. If you plan on making your own and you get into difficulties, then just let me know. I'm happy to help you out. During the meanwhile, you can support me by following me on Spotify, buying my tracks from Bandcamp, or even Patreon. Okay, thank you for watching.